Tēnā koutou katoa. In today's headlines, Labour hopes that iwi will be able to claim legal aid if they go to court over water rights. The government has rejected a suggestion to compensate Maori for the partial sale of Mighty River Power through a Shares Plus scheme. Nanaya Mahuta says iwi are deciding whether to take legal action. It's still unclear how far the wind's privacy breach has reached. Earthquake Recovery Minister Jerry Brownlee admits that compromised information may include details of those who've dealt with Syria.
The Syria department piggybacked off the MSD because they have a very good system, so this is incredibly disappointing that got into this position. We're still looking into it.
Deloitte has been appointed to carry out a two-part review into computer security at the Ministry of Social Development. The first phase will deal with public kiosks, while the second phase involves a review across the ministry's IT systems, including policies, governance and culture. One of baby Nia Glassie's abusers has walked free from prison 5 years after the toddler's death, and despite being denied parole 4 times in the past. Her grandfather, William Curtis, was jailed for 4 years in 2009 on charges of assaulting her and assault with a weapon. The Prime Minister has dropped a bombshell in Parliament over his GCSB briefing in February. John Key initially said he couldn't remember Kim.com being mentioned in the briefing. Now he says the advice he subsequently received was more than a passing reference.
Points to the presentation included a short reference to the .com arrest as an example of cooperation between the Bureau and the police.
The Tongariro Alpine Crossing will reopen ahead of the long weekend. It's been closed under maintenance since Mount Tongariro erupted on the 6th of August, but will open on Friday. Trampers can expect parts of it to either be rockier or softer than usual. The Council of Trade Unions is backing calls from employers for a cut in interest rates. Inflation increased just 0.3% in the latest quarter, and CTU economist Bill Rosenberg says an OCR drop from 2.5 to 2% could stimulate investment, job creation and lower the exchange rate. But Westpac says it's unlikely that the Reserve Bank will cut the OCR. Chief economist Dominic Stevens says at nearly 2%, the inflation forecast is on track. Overseas, the British Prime Minister and Scotland's First Minister have signed a deal for a referendum in 2 years' time. It will determine whether Scotland should regain independence or remain part of the UK. Professor Liam McIlvaney says it's the biggest decision Scots have faced in 300 years.
For such a momentous decision, I think it's right that there's a couple of years lead-in so that the issues can be debated. Many more people voted for the Scottish National Party at the last elections than would vote for independence. There is a need for the nationalist movement to try to bring disparate interest groups together.
Syria and Russia are refuting allegations that al-Assad's army has begun widespread attacks using Russian-made cluster bombs. Human Rights Watch said there's growing evidence that government forces are using the illegal bombs.
Well, the evidence that we have suggests that these cluster munitions came from the Soviet era. What we don't know is when they were transferred to Syria, whether they've been sort of sitting in the Syrian stockpile for the last 20+ years.
Syria continues to deny the reports as dissident propaganda. And finally, yesterday we had a sound barrier breaking stunt from the edge of space, and today it's human Angry Birds right down by Auckland's waterfront. American action star Dusty Weigel rode a trike off a ramp into an Angry Birds structure made of human crash dummies. It's the official launch of the Nitro Circus live tour, which returns to New Zealand next year. Kanuinga karere mātua mai te whare kōrero rima Maori ora.